Well, as we speak, some nations labeled worst offenders are scrambling to make nice with the White House to end this game before it reaches a potentially devastating climax. Meanwhile, China is, in contrast, playing a different game, one of retaliation and resistance. But for further clarity, we have with us former US Assistant Secretary of Commerce, Raymond Vickery. As always, sir, thank you so much for making time for us. With the announcement of these new tariffs on Chinese goods reaching a staggering 104%, how much further do you think the global markets will tumble? We're already seeing the Asia-Pacific markets are in the red. Are we witnessing the beginning of a prolonged economic downturn, or are you optimistic enough to say there's a chance for recovery?
Well, thanks very much for having me. I think that we're in for a very rough ride. There is no sign that President Trump or his administration is backing off from what I consider to be an absurd and really disastrous approach to world trade. You know, after World War II, India, the United States, others entered into a general agreement on tariffs and trade, which was based upon a system in which there was consensus, extension of most favored nation, consideration of the different circumstances of developing nations versus developed nations, and tried to put in place a rules-based system. What's going on now is President Trump's vision of remaking the world economy on a bilateral basis without rules. And until that changes, you're going to see the markets do what they've done for the last 4 trading days, and that is move down. The results are serious, not only internationally, not only in regard to U.S.-India relations, but they're serious here in the United States. President Trump was elected in large part upon an inflation fear. This, of course, fuels inflation. And the very idea that somehow you can create a fortress America economically and be divorced from the rest of the world, particularly friends and allies like India, like Australia and others, is a non-starter. But his view is a mercantilist view that trade surpluses are good, trade deficits are bad. If you have a trade deficit, then something is being done to take advantage of the United States. One hopes that India will step into the breach here and provide leadership as it has in the past with the G20 and others to be able to ameliorate this situation.
Sir, as always, thank you so much for joining us with your view. In fact, many experts believe that we are in for a very rough ride and there's no respite from Trump's tariffs at the moment. Democrats have called this a disastrous approach to world trade. Many are still questioning what this actually means for the future of global trade. This continues to play out.